Today, politicians signed peace pact on 2023 general elections campaign with warnings that there would shun hate speech, fake news, and violence. And Governor-elect of Osun State, Senator Ademola Adeleke, wins at the Supreme Court as the court dismissed the suit challenging the authenticity of his candidacy. A warm welcome to you all. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimale in Abuja. Let's begin tonight from the courtroom, where another victory has been in the bag for the governor-elect of Osun State, Senator Ademola Adeleke. Today, the Supreme Court dismissed a suit challenging the authenticity of Senator Adeleke's candidacy in the just concluded Osun State governorship election in southwest Nigeria. The suit was instituted by Mr. Dotun Babayemi, a former governorship aspirant of the People's Democratic Party in Osun State. In a judgment delivered by Justice Amina Ogier, the five-man panel held that the court lacked the jurisdiction to hear the suit after counsel for the appellant, Adebayo Adelodun, withdrew the earlier notice of appeal that was filed within time. At a resumed hearing, Adelodun, who represented the appellant, and Babayemi informed the court that he sought to withdraw the earlier notice of appeal to replace it with a fresh application he filed. But the panel held that Section 285, subsection 11 of the Constitution stipulated that an appeal on a pre-election matter must be filed within 14 days from the day of the decision, and that having filed the second appeal out of time, the apex court lacked jurisdiction to entertain the matter. Tonight, we're looking at what came out of the peace accord event today, where the National Peace Committee came together, brought political parties and their flag bearers, a commitment to sign a peace accord. Is it just mere formality? How would it stand? Say, shun hate speech, shun violence, and any form of fake news? But these are some of the things that come up during the election. We'll touch on some of these issues tonight on the program. And the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, has released a video where he's made his campaign official. We'll be hearing all of that from the People's Democratic Party. And of course, we'll hear from the APC also what is happening in that party. But first and foremost, let's check out some of your political roundup stories.
Ahead of the 2023 general elections, President Muhammadu Buhari has charged the judiciary to maintain its position as an honest arbiter and play same as the 2023 general elections approach. He gave the charge of the official commissioning of the Body of Benches complex in Abuja, where he restated his administration's commitment to the rule of law.
As I have always maintained, adherence to the rule of law is critical to the progress of any society.
After the court declared Mr. Mechine as the rightful owner of the APC ticket for the Yobe North Senatorial District election, Senate President Ahmed Lawan has said that he will not appeal the judgment delivered on Wednesday by the Federal High Court, Damaturu. Lawan said in a statement which he personally signed and released today that he has accepted the judgment of the court which disqualified his candidature and participation in the election. As the 2023 general elections draw close, the Independent National Electoral Commission, in partnership with the United Nations Development Programme, is holding an election monitoring training workshop in Port Harcourt. Top officials from the Southeast, South-South and Kogi State. The training is to empower heads of departments at the Commission to help actualize the strategic plans for the elections. Speaking exclusively to Channels Television on the sidelines of the event, the Chief Press Secretary to the INEC Chairman, Rotimi Oyekomi, explains that the officials are being trained to execute the election project's plan put together by the Commission.
We also have to put monitoring mechanisms in place to ensure that every level of that plan is executed and executed meticulously.
As the political campaigns commence across the country, politicians in Kwara State have been warned to embark on peaceful campaign and avoid intimidation. The new Kwara State Commissioner of Police, Paul Odama, while briefing journalists, assured that the peace accord and undertaking will soon be signed by political parties to avoid crisis during campaigns, as he warns that those who break the agreement will be sanctioned.
We will make all political parties to write an undertaking of their conduct in this election.
The administration of Dr. Kayode Fayemi in Ekiti State is gradually winding down, and the process is beginning with a thank you tour across the 3 senatorial districts in the state. The outgoing governor believes his administration earned a pass mark in delivering its promises to Ekiti people, despite major economic hurdles that surfaced within the final 4-year period.
There are states around us that owe 5 months' salary, but we have kept faith. We do not owe any worker in the last 4 years that we have been in office.
And the Adamawa State chapter of the Labour Party has passed a vote of no confidence on its chairman, Christopher Nicholas, for what they describe as incompetence. Addressing journalists in Yola, the vice chairman of the party in the state, Mr. Zion Mina, along with members of the state executive, accused the embattled chairman of high-handedness, anti-party activities, and religious bias, among other offences.
Playing anti-party, collaborating with the political party against the interests of our major candidate in the Labour Party. Incitement of religious discrimination among the party leaders.
Thank you so much. There, you have been served with your political roundup stories. Our first point of call tonight is the ruling APC, the All Progressives Congress. There have been some controversies in the party about the constitution of the party's Presidential Campaign Council. The National Publicity Secretary of the APC, Mr. Felix Moka, today released a statement distancing the party from a letter accusing the APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu of breaching the agreement regarding the constitution of campaign council members. Earlier today, a purported letter had leaked to town wherein the APC national chairman, Senator Abdullah Adamu, accused Tinubu of appointing members of the party's presidential campaign council without the approval of the National Working Committee. The letter, part of the letter reads, quote, "We stand united as a party in our resolve and commitment to execute a focused and issue-driven campaign to persuade Nigerians to renew our mandate in next year's general election." Well, what exactly is going on in the APC? Let's hear from the spokesperson of the APC, Mr. Felix Moka. He joins us via telephone. Thank you so much, Mr. Moka, for joining us. A quick conversation just to get clarity on what happened. You're distancing, your party literally, the leadership distanced itself from that letter, which was purported to have been written by the national chairman to your candidate. But you have not disowned the letter. Is it that the national chairman said he did not write the letter? And if it said so, where did the letter originate from?
Thank you so much, Sheon, for having me. The letter is not of the party. It was not forwarded or shared or even written by the party. And we're not sure what the source of that letter really is. Now, when you see the letter, on the face of the letter is really unmarked, it's unsigned, and says, you know, on its face that it's a draft. So it's not a finished letter. It's not one that was authenticated by the signature of the purported author, which was supposed to be the national chairman of our party. So we were, you know, just as confused as everyone else when this letter, you know, made it into circulation, which, you know, prompted the statement that I gave in the early afternoon today, basically disclaiming that letter. Now, you know, as for the Presidential Campaign Council of the APC, look, we have a good problem, which is that, you know, many of our members want to serve on the campaign council. The problem we have is that people are, eager to serve. They are asking to be included. That's a good problem to have. So we are trying to manage and keep the numbers, within, good, limits. Whereas our friends on the other side in the PDP have a different kind of problem with their own campaign council, where, as a matter of fact, people who they had nominated are saying no to their nomination. So, we have a different, issue altogether. So we're quite happy with where we are, which is that our members, our leaders, and, people of goodwill in the party are eager, are desirous to participate in the presidential campaign of our party.
To the fact that Mr. Moka, I mean, although I've known you for years in Lagos as an activist, of course, and a lawyer, and very unusual for a politician to come out to say the truth like this about the problem that your party is confronted with. Usually what we hear is denial. But now that you have established that there was a problem, people want to be part of the campaign council. Perhaps that is the reason why your party is not able to move forward to inaugurate the campaign council. But then it does look, from what members of your party are saying, that there is a disconnect between some people who are close to your candidate and the party structure itself. How are you able, or how will you be able to connect the party and unite the campaign council or the presidential candidate and his team with the party? It does look like with the complaints that we're hearing from your party, there seems to be a gap.
We have a party, Shehu, and that's the All Progressives Congress. The presidential campaign is a presidential campaign of the party. The party is the party and is the vehicle on which our presidential candidate is running. Now, naturally, once the candidate emerges in any political party, the candidate is the flag bearer of the party. A lot of activities, a lot of the planning and the coordination of activities for the campaign revolves between the candidate and the party. So naturally, the candidate becomes an emerging system of influence that is natural, that is expected, that is normal in any democracy. So what we're seeing is really, those initial formative, stages of constituting the council and to actually put them to work on behalf of the candidate. So there's no tension as such. It's simply just a matter of...
Inaugurate the campaign council now.
Yes.
Do you have a date to inaugurate the campaign council?
We don't have a date yet set for the inauguration of the campaign council. As you know, just, I think it was yesterday or the day before, there was a release out of the council postponing that inauguration. That will be done. Like I said earlier, the challenge here and the effort we're making is to ensure that all of those who can be accommodated on the council are actually accommodated. It's about, like I said, it's a good problem to have people eager to serve. Unlike, the other party where, as a matter of fact, even very high-level officials and party men and women who are nominated are saying no to the invitation to serve. So it's a different problem. And it's, quite frankly, it's a good one. It's a sweet problem, if I must say.
Which as a problem is actually captured in the purported letter you said may not have emanated from the national chairman. That problem of people wanting to be part of the party, and for those who are perhaps closer in your party are saying, look, that exactly is the problem. People were excluded, people were not included. And that's the bottom line of the purported letter, is that the presidential candidate had excluded and moved away from the agreement and the recommendations made by the party. So how would you clear this? Is the party working on this? As the president, the leader of your party, intervene in this matter? Or how are you able to resolve what you said is a problem?
Well, Cheryl, again, just to be clear, I didn't state this as a problem in terms of, inhibiting or hindering the effective constitution of the presidential campaign council. What I'm saying is that we have more people who are eager to serve on this council than we can even possibly accommodate. As you know, our party is still the largest party in Africa. over 40 million, registered members who are eager. If you were to open it up to include everyone, I am quite sure that, so many more members of our party would like to serve. So, this is about managing numbers and ensuring that, only those who offer the best, potential to add value to the campaign are brought in. Everybody adds value, but we can't accommodate everyone who has value to add on a presidential campaign council. Party members are called upon to serve and to campaign irrespective of whether they are, members of the council. And we have other campaign structures from the, state assemblies to the Senate that is accommodating so many more members of our party. But as for whether the president has intervened, I'm not aware that he has. And I'm not even, I don't think, quite frankly, that the matter is at the level that requires, Mr. President to intervene in this matter. The party and the candidate and all of the, officials behind them are very, capable.
Okay, I promised that it was going to be a very brief one because you told me that you are you have a commitment to an event where you are right now. So I must let you go. Thank you so much, Mr. Felix Moka, the National Publicity Secretary of the APC. Thank you indeed for your time tonight.
Thank you so much, Sharon.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Well, there was a commitment made today in Abuja by political parties and their flag bearers to a peaceful and violence-free elections in 2023. The campaigns officially kicked off for the 2023 elections, and the presidential candidates have signed a peace accord in Abuja. The event was heavily attended by members of the society and, of course, members of the National Peace Committee, some of which include Bishop Hassan Kuka, John Onayekon, Mr. John Momo, Aliko Dangote, as well as Alhaji Sahad Abubakar. The chairman of the National Peace Committee and the former military head of state, Abdul Salami Abubakar, has appealed to the 18 political parties and their presidential candidates and spokespersons to commit to issue-based campaigns, as fake news and misinformation already created a toxic environment that is capable of threatening the peaceful conduct of the election. Take a listen to him.
Issues of major concern that have the potential to negatively impact on the integrity are emerging. One of such issues is the spread of fake news. Thus, fake news and misinformation continue to pose a significant threat to 2023 general elections. I'm told already the fake news have also declared the winner so far, even before the election. It has shifted focus away from the issue-based campaigns and created the platform for political parties to resort to name-calling, personal insults, and character assassination. Furthermore, it has taken away our civility and decency in public discourse and conversations, and created a toxic atmosphere that has the potential to incite citizens against the state, against other political parties and candidates. It is for this reason that the National Peace Committee has organized the signing of 2 peace accords for the 2023 general elections.
We are witnessing activities by political actors that don't do justice to the process. That is the unacceptable dilemma of vote buying. Now, we are aware of the capacity of this process to undermine the entire project of democracy. Yes, Nigerians are poor. Yes, Nigerians are suffering. But none of that is a substitute. And politicians must not exploit the weaknesses of our people in the way, a manner that has made vote buying part of our culture. We hope that with the penalties already spelled out by the chairman of INEC's speech and the IG, that those who compromise the process will face the wrath of the law.
That's former head of state, Abdulsalami Abubakar and Bishop Hassan Kuka of the National Peace Committee. Well, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, and the INEC Chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, also spoke on the need to allow for peace. And in fact, INEC Chairman is saying that there is going to be some work for INEC to monitor what politicians are doing. Take a listen to them.
For the next 148 days, political parties, candidates, and their supporters are free to traverse the country, holding meetings, rallies, processions, and door-to-door campaigns. They will grant interviews, sponsor indoor and outdoor advertisements, and publish other campaign materials. This is often a period, very delicate period indeed, characterized by excitement and anxiety. In line with the provisions of the Electoral Act 2022, and in our determination to play our role as regulator, the Independent National Electoral Commission will vigorously monitor compliance to ensure that parties shun abusive, intemperate, or slanderous language, as well as insinuations or innuendos likely to provoke a breach of the peace during the electioneering campaigns. Similarly, the Commission will also closely monitor compliance with the limits on campaign spending as enshrined in the Electoral Act.
On our part, as the lead agency in the election security process, I assure all political parties, the citizens, and the international community of our firm determination to synergize with INEC leaderships of all political parties at all levels, civil society organizations, the military, intelligence community, and other security agencies and all other strategic stakeholders in guaranteeing a peaceful electioneering campaign engagement by all political parties towards delivering a credible 2023 general election. In furtherance of this, we have commenced a set of actions to sensitize the political class on conducts that could pitch them against the law as the electioneering campaign commences. These include issuing a public statement affirming that all quasi pseudo and sub-national security outfits are banned from electoral space as they have no statutory roles to play in the process. Any attempt, therefore, by any political actor at any level to form or deploy such outfits to advance partisan interests will amount to an offense punishable under the Electoral Act.
Well, you heard it. Warnings to politicians to abide by the rules. Well, we'll also be looking at how this pans out and also play our own role to ensure that everyone is in line in all of these conversations. We'll be speaking with a member of the National Peace Committee in a moment. But before then, let's get to speak with the People's Democratic Party and one of the spokespersons of the presidential campaign organization, Senator Dino Melaye, who joins us live here in our Abuja studio. Thanks so much, Senator, for joining us tonight on the program.
Yeah, good evening, Nigerians. My pleasure to be here.
Are you weary of some of the warnings? It seems that our politicians and particularly spokespersons have been told to work in a certain box and not to move out of that kind of box.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a traditional thing that the PDP is used to. We're a very disciplined party. We are a very law-abiding party. We comply with all extant laws of the land, and we have no worry with complying with all the provisions of the Electoral Act.
Your candidate today, your presidential candidate, that is Atiku Abubakar, today officially flagged off the presidential campaign. Let me allow our viewers to listen to a portion of a 10-minute video that was released by the Presidential Campaign Council of the PDP. And here is Atiku Abubakar basically declaring officially open his presidential campaign. Take a listen to him.
We are determined to give practical expression to the terms of the contract in the realization of the common good and to build a nation where the rule of law becomes the critical signpost. Naturally and logically, Our focus on these areas will enable us to earn huge global capital, prestige, and respect. To achieve the task we have set for ourselves, I have come prepared with the requisite skills, capacity, and experience. My headship of the economic team from 1999 to 2007 enabled me to headhunt for Nigerians with technocratic competence, locally and those scattered across the globe. A lot of them were encouraged, deliberately enlisted, and strategically recruited to come on board and help rebuild Nigeria. For instance, in the telecommunications and banking subsectors, we made our marks. Today, we have joined the globalizing world in telecommunications and fintech. We shall do more, including rediscovering the central role of the maritime domain in the world economy.
That's the presidential candidate of the PDP, Atiku Abubakar. Senator Melaye, how easy will it be for you? You are one of those that have been tagged as those ones that go with gloves in ready to battle any of your opponents. But how easy will it be? You go on social media, you go all out, any opportunity you had to defend your party and your candidate. But how are you able to stay away from some of these things that are being, politicians have been warned against?
Anyway, I want to say that the PDP, like I said, is a very responsible party. And by the grace of God, we are going to operate within the confines of the law and the provisions of the Electoral Act as amended. And I want to say we have no problem with all the extant provisions of the Electoral Act. And we have 100%, we're going to comply 100% with the custom, the tradition, and pronouncement as agreed on today. And I mean, we're good to go.
What is the reason behind the style in which your presidential candidate flagged off his campaign? You saw what happened with the Labour Party presidential candidate yesterday. He was in Jos to flag off his presidential campaign. Is there a reason for your candidate flagging his own off in the corner of his office?
Anyway, what is important to Nigerians now is not the hiring of crowds, it's not mobilizing people on the streets. It is the message and what you have to offer Nigerians. And that is the message delivered today by Atiku Abubakar. He spoke to the issues and proffered solutions to the problem of this country. He gave analytical data and postulations that will help Nigeria to recover from our present calamitous situation. Atiku proved that he's going to be a digital president. He proved that he understands the problems of this country. He proved that he is, capable, he has capacity and capability to solve our problems. And he's going to be a president that will be very decisive and will confront these issues headlong. So, it's not a matter of style. It's a matter of sincerity of purpose, of heart and commitment towards building a new Nigeria where corruption will not be the order of the day, where it will be safe for everybody to move from one part of this country to another.
Before we go into the issue, is also, to also look at the procedure in which you wanted to go about. Is this what we're going to be seeing, or you've not explained to us why your candidate chose this time? The other time, he did that on Facebook. He announced in 2019, he announced his intention to run for president on Facebook. This time around, he's doing that via a recorded video from his office. Is this what we expected to see from his campaign? Is this a style or is it just a one-off?
I'm trying to make you understand that what he did today is a broadcast. If you will recall yesterday also, we had the inauguration of the PCC, and he made an elaborate speech there, and he spoke also to the issues of the campaign. So this is just a continuation of flagging of what we have for Nigerians. And you should expect many more approach to solving the problems of this country, to, very digital electioneering campaign, and very sincere one for that matter.
All right, we'll take a breather, but I'm being told now that Colonel John Onayeko, a member of the National Peace Committee, is live with us. It's good to see you. Colonel John Nayeko, thank you so much indeed for joining us tonight. But we'll take a breather, and when we come back, we will be able to touch on so many issues pertaining to this campaign and these 2023 elections. What should be done and the expectations of Nigerians. The spokesperson of the PDP presidential campaign is also with us, Senator Dino Melaye. Don't go anywhere, everyone. We'll be right back. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. It's all about how we can achieve a peaceful, violence-free election, the one that is devoid of hate speech and fake news. How can we achieve that? The National Peace Committee set the ball rolling, bringing together politicians and their political parties to ensure that they sign a peace accord in this respect. A member of the National Peace Committee, Cardinal John Onayeko, joins us live from Abuja. Thank you so much, Cardinal John Onayeko, for joining us tonight on the program. It's good to see you again. And thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'll come to you in a moment.
Thank you very much.
Give me a moment with Senator Dino Melaye. I'll be back with you just in a moment. It's good to touch base with you. Senator, what we've seen today, the ball is now rolling and the game has started. The question is, what is your party bringing to the table?
First, I'll start by saying that campaign is multi-channel, and what Atiku did today is to bring message to the widest audience through technology. And what we're bringing to the table is different from the postulation of every other person. For example, Atiku is speaking to 5 key campaign agendas. One is talking about restructuring in this country. He's not just talking about it, he's written a book on restructuring. And he believes that power sharing and, the whole issue of concentration of power at the center must be devolved down to local government and states.
Did this stipulate when he will restructure Nigeria should he win the election?
Atiku is going to kick the ground running immediately.
Should he win, when he will restructure Nigeria?
It's a matter of when he wins.
You know, because we have heard promises about restructuring Nigeria. This is not the first time. So the question is how will he go about it? When will he do it? Is it in the first 6 months or in the first year?
Atiku is not giving lip service to restructuring. I'm telling you that he authored a book on restructuring. When it was not safe for any northerner to talk about restructuring, Atiku boldly spoke about restructuring. So he's speaking from his heart, and Atiku, whatever he says, he stands by it. And I want to tell you that it is not going to be a matter of 1 or 2 years of postulation. It is something that is going to start immediately. He has the capacity to make sure that all his 5 agendas kickstart from the first day in office. And apart from that, he's going to talk about he's going to face the issue of economy. And you cannot fight the economy without fighting corruption. For example, just yesterday, the president came back from the United Nations and put up the Climate Change Council. And in putting up a committee to manage the Climate Change Council, he appointed Salisu Dairu, who is facing ICPC right now for the fraud of 6.5 billion naira.
Alleged fraud.
Alleged fraud of 6.5 billion, a former director in the Federal Ministry of Environment. As I speak with you, we are trying to assess $10 billion annually to cushion the effect of climate change and to create infrastructural facilities for us. And South Africa, for example, just got $8.7 billion grants from this climate change thing. And we are expecting to get $10 billion annually as grants for the management of the funds. And you are appointing somebody who is undergoing alleged criminal investigation to the tune of 6.5 billion. And you think there will be no due diligence from the donors? And we may end up losing and not even getting this money. These are the type of things that Atiku is coming to correct. These are the type of things Atiku is coming to ameliorate. Square pegs will be in square poles. Nobody with criminal tendency or undergoing criminal investigation will come and occupy office. I am tying that issue of corruption to the problem of the economy.
So PDP is bringing some sense into the fray.
And you can decide to use whatever vocabulary.
No, I'm asking.
But I'm telling you that
Atiku
will not appoint people, questionable characters, people who are undergoing criminal investigations, people who have stolen or looted from government. That is what is happening right now. And not just that. Atiku also is speaking to the issue of our power situation in this country. Atiku is speaking to the issue of insecurity that is the major problem in this country today. We don't have foreign direct investment any longer. People are afraid. They can't sleep with their eyes closed. You can't travel from here to Kaduna except you go with your anointing oil and you pray like never, like as if prayer is out of fashion. The country is completely unsafe. We have never gotten to this, stage in our national life.
Just give me a moment. Let me speak to my Lord Cardinal John Onayekon, who is standing by to speak with us on these speaks. But I'll be with you in a moment, Senator. Cardinal John Onayekon, thank you so much indeed. What was your feeling like earlier today at that peace accord signing? The National Peace Committee came together in 2015, and the thinking behind the minds of the members of the committee was that it was going to be a one-off after that election to ensure that there was no violence in that 2015 election. But we saw that the National Peace Committee had to continue its job in 2019. But for the 2023 election, when you got into that venue and you saw what happened today, what came to your mind?
Thank you very much for the way you started this discussion. In going through the motions of elections since to civilian rule in 1999, and they started going through the motions of National Peace Committee efforts and the signing since 19. This is the third round. And we almost reached a stage where some of us began to have a bit of frustration and wondering whether it was worth the while. Now, my feeling, even before I go to the hall, was that we should that things are not as hopeless as it may appear. I have reasons to believe that there's something moving in my country, Nigeria. There is possibility of around our processes is going. If the issue of what politicians should do and not do, they all know it. The laws are there, written in black and white and in simple English. Both the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the electoral law as amended or re-amended is there. But even above all, there is the common sense of what is right to be done, how to go carry on things, how not to malign fellow Nigerians, how to speak even when you are campaigning. All this is available. Now is, can we trust Nigerian politicians to behave well? I like to bet we can. Things are moving. This is because our country has reached almost, shall we say, and we believe that we can solve this, or you give up and allow what's to happen. One of those we get back and hoping that those who are present as political office have the same mind of wanting new to us. Before in the hall with a good number of we call them partners or our friends, that means international community, diplomatic community of Nigeria. They express their concerns, their feelings, the usual thing you expect from foreigners watching us. And we listened to them and we took the issues that which came out also in the speech of the chairman of our committee. The important thing is that just but no to carry the way a simple and fair election that will be everybody for winners, losers. The election is meant for everybody.
Yeah, apologies. Let me jump in
believe
quickly
that
and ask
that
you.
is important.
You've been in this committee and trying to put together this kind of event, which a lot of us will say that it has worked to help us achieve some form of sanity in our elections. There was a fear in 2015 that this nation was going to break. 2019, the election fever was there and it was very intense. But this time around, what is your biggest fear as we move towards this 2023 election?
My biggest fear that Nigeria may the momentum of optimism and hope to drop. I believe that if you listen to the youths, they are interested now. There are a lot of who had given up on politics, largely because of bad behavior of politicians, but not only, because there's also the fact that even regulatory agencies, INEC, government, and the secretaries, they have not all performed very well. But now we are hoping everybody is promising to be on top gear when this election of 2023. We hear every now and again, this election is going to be different from others. It will be different. It has to be different if our country.
My Lord Bishop, so apologies again. If I may ask you,
yes.
Peace is very important, and a lot of people have analyzed and said, look, for us to move forward, anybody who wants to be Nigeria's president must first and foremost think about the best ways to unite this nation, and that there seems to be the threat that has brought us together is threatened and is very frail and fragile. Apart from the ability to unite this nation, if you have any three qualities Nigerians should be looking forward, because they want to make that decision, a lot of people have not yet decided in their minds on who to elect. But if there are three qualities that you have in your mind for Nigerians to look out for in the leader that will be best fit for our nation 2023 going forward, what would those three qualities be?
Let me just, off the cuff, the first question that of an honest person, whose words we can trust, who will match what action. The second will be the quality of someone who understands and wants to understand the needs of people of. And finally, the quality of one who capacity to deal with, and especially deal with crime, not only security crisis, so a crisis, article. You asked me for three qualities.
There seems to be having some problems with the audio quality there. His Eminence John Cardinal Onayekon, he was an Archbishop of Abuja and former president of the Christian Association of Nigeria. He's a member of the National Peace Committee. Apologies, everyone, for the bad quality of video and audio there. Thanks so much indeed, Your Eminence, for your time tonight. Let me come back to Senator Dino Melaye. And of course, perhaps your allusion to the issue of the grants you are talking about is actually a form of foreign direct investment into Nigeria, not a grant, actually. Just a point of correction there. But your candidate has said that he's a unifier. Yeah. Beyond the title, how does he hope to unify this country?
To start with, Atiku is a celebrated problem solver.
What do you mean?
What I mean is that he has the competence and the capacity to solve the problem because he understands this problem. He knows this country in and out. Having been vice president, and a very, very celebrated one at that, and from the postulations he has made so far, there is no doubt to the fact that he is the most experienced to take us out of the ditch that the APC have dropped us. Atiku have...
When you say ditch, what exactly do you mean?
Koto, Rami, hole. We are in an outrageously calamitous situation where nothing, no facet of our national life is working. People, the chapter 14.2b of the Constitution says the primary occupation of government is the security and the welfare of the people. Today, there is no security, not to talk of welfare. So we are in a very precarious situation. Nigeria is extremely sick. It's like a car being driven by a drunken driver. No part of this country is safe.
The question I asked, Senator,
yes,
is if you say that you are a mechanic, and I ask you, how would you fix my car? You need to be able to tell me. So you said your candidate, and he has said, he's professed that he's the unifier Nigeria needs. How will he unite this nation? That's the question Nigerians would like to know.
I'm answering you that the only Nigerian today among the presidential candidates that can be trusted by Nigerians from every walk of life and part of this country is Atiku Abubakar. In the 36 states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Atiku is welcomed in every state in this country. It's a home for him. He is the only one that can be seen as a detribalized Nigerian. He's the only one that cannot be accused as a religious bigot in this country. He's the only one that has friends and brothers from every part of this country. Nobody, including Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will accuse Atiku Abubakar of being a tribalist or of being a religious bigot. He is the only one that Nigerians can trust. The Igbos will be comfortable with.
Senator.
The Yorubas will be comfortable with.
Senator.
The Hausas will be comfortable with. We from the Middle Belt will be comfortable with.
If I may follow up on that question, so for those who are watching who are not members of your party, in fact, those members of your party will say, oh, if he says he's a unifier, how much of that role has he even played in your party? Has he been able to even unify your party that is facing internal, deep internal crises that is not being fixed at the moment?
I will start by telling you that I've said this on this platform before, that democracy is noisy. And in every family, there is bound to be struggles, there's bound to be disagreements. But I can tell you that Atiku has done very well in unifying the PDP. And it's an ongoing exercise. As I speak with you, many people who were in the declaration in Port Harcourt that they would not be part of the Presidential Campaign Council were present yesterday at the inauguration of the Campaign Council. It's the effort of Atiku Abubakar. He has shown magnanimity, he has shown maturity.
That's how he's going to unite Nigerians.
He has shown that fatherly concern.
It is that style that he will use in uniting Nigerians?
I've not said he's using that style. You asked a question, and I'm trying to explain to you.
And I'm following up by saying...
He has shown that capacity, that even the God Almighty that will serve is unable to put every man on track. So whether you like it or not, some people will still go to hell, despite the number of evangelism, number of churches and mosques we have in this country. So Atiku that I know, in terms of unifying this country, because we have never been this divided in our history as a nation.
Senator,
and because the primordial sentiment that is creating the division is because of injustice. And Atiku is coming to make sure that there's justice for every Nigerian, irrespective of where you come from, irrespective of your religion or irrespective of your ethnicity. And the agitation for this unity will be cured because justice is the only cure to injustice.
Let's anchor, because that's exactly the agitation in your party, injustice. That's what some of your members are screaming, that there's imbalance. There seems to be be positions skewed to one section of the country. But on a final note, you mentioned the issue. We need to
Yeah, but I need to respond to that
just a
quickly,
moment. I will allow you, please. Just a moment. I need to put in this question, and it's very important. The issue of electricity that you mentioned, which is very critical. For those who are asking, is it that Atiku want to come and fix a mistake that has been alleged to have caused the reason why we have not been able to have electricity in Nigeria today?
I want to say categorically that Atiku did not make any mistake and is not responsible for any problem you have. Atiku rather gave an advice as vice president of this country that we should diversify our sources of energy and power in this country. That advice was jettisoned. And because of that, even the meeting that ratified the NIPP project was not attended by Atiku. And Atiku have preferred solution that we need to nucleate power in this country. If we need to do away with the national grid and nucleate power, let each nucleus of this country, each constituency or settlement in this country, build their own power concentration and deliver power to Nigerians. And he has come up with a systematic approach to the problem of solving power in this country. And if time will permit, I will go ahead to give you and elucidate
Time will not permit us.
Okay, but
the campaign has started. Don't worry.
It has.
You will have ample time, I promise you, between now and February to be able to speak more on your party's agenda. Thank you so much indeed, Senator Dino Melaye, for coming tonight.
Thank you. The pleasure is always mine.
And be ready, Nigerians, brace up, because the issue, we will discuss it. The person that will save and rescue this nation or solve the problem of this nation or lead this nation, we will ask them questions that you want to ask. And we have just started on it. Thank you so much, everyone. Earlier on, I spoke with Emeritus Catholic Archbishop of Abuja Archdiocese, John Cardinal Onayekon. Thank you so much indeed, everyone. And that's our show for today. I'm Sean Kimale. Bye for now.